Good afternoon. I'm Candace Hetzner, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs in the Graduate School of the Morrissey College of Arts and Sciences. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the 2022 diploma ceremony. Before beginning, I'm required to make an announcement. In the unlikely event of a fire or other emergency, Boston College and the Boston Fire Department require that all occupants and staff evacuate the building. Please take note of the various marked exit locations throughout the facility. Should the fire alarm sound, please proceed to the nearest exit and follow the directions of the event staff. I try not to deviate too much from my script, but I'm already doing it. I want to say to you that it has been since 2019 that we have gathered in Robsham. This has been our venue for this ceremony for decades. I can't tell you how wonderful it is to be back with all of you. Now, on to our celebration. On behalf of the Graduate School, I wish to congratulate each and every one of our master's and doctoral graduates and their families. This is a wonderful occasion, and we hope that you will participate in it with joy and enthusiasm. Let's have some fun. Please join me in a round of applause for the graduates of 2022. At this time, I wish to introduce Father Hilary Ogana Nwanya, a doctoral candidate in the Department of Theology, who will offer the invocation.
Congratulations to all of you, the graduating class. This marks an important transition for you. Therefore, the following invocation is inspired by some blessings given to young Africans by their community at their rite of passage as they transition into adulthood. Please bow down your heads and pray for blessings. May the sun light up your path, and may God always guide your steps. May you soar above life's troubles as God bears you on eagle's wings. And may your heart be warm and peaceful like the moonlight, and may you find peace even in the midst of darkness and gloom. May God place your hopes and aspirations where the stars are held at dawn, that you may spread peace in the world like the grass of a prairie. May God firmly set you in your rightful place in the universe, and may your love for the human family be ever strong. May life be kind to you and your work be fruitful. May you find peace and true happiness in all you do, and may God bless you ever to excel. Amen.
Thank you, Father Nwanya, for a beautiful invocation. I would now like to introduce our speaker for today, Professor Kristen Heyer, Professor of Theological Ethics at Boston College, where she has been Director of Graduate Studies for the past 3 years. She received her BA in History from Brown University and her PhD in Theology from Boston College. Prior to coming here, she was a faculty member at Loyola Marymount and Santa Clara Universities. She has been an exemplary faculty member for all of us, a world-class teacher, administrator, and scholar. She manages to be a superb mentor and teacher and member of the academic community while producing 3 single-authored books, with another forthcoming, 3 co-edited books, and hundreds of journal articles and presentations. Her scholarly interests are in social ethics, Catholic social thought, religion and politics, and in the currently extremely important topic of migration ethics. She is presently co-chair of Theological Ethics in the World Church and vice president of the Catholic Theological Society of America. When not engaged in professional and university life, she enjoys soccer games and cooking with her husband, Mark Potter, also a Boston College PhD in theology, and with sons Owen and Luke. The graduate school is indeed very fortunate to have Professor Heyer as a member of the faculty, and we are most fortunate to have her here today as our speaker.
Thanks very much, Dean Hetzner. This is really a genuine honor. To the 2022 graduates of the Morrissey College of Arts and Sciences, to their families and loved ones who supported them, and the faculty who mentored them, my hearty congratulations. I can say from experience completing a doctorate here and accompanying my spouse throughout the same endeavor that both are cause for celebration. You graduates have studied under the significant pressures of a pandemic, and today we honor your determination and achievements. I have to confess I did not return to Boston College for my own graduate commencement ceremony here about 20 years ago. I was already a year into my first job on the West Coast and figured I'd consider processing and regalia there at Loyola Marymount akin to my own ceremony. The honorary degree recipient that year was award-winning actress Goldie Hawn. And when she led in her address with the fact that she had only ever attended the College of Goldie, I reflected back on the intensive study and sacrifice of the previous 5 years. I also have to say I thought about the parents in the audience who had just paid for 4. So I can assure you that you have chosen wisely in marking your own achievements here today alongside your hardworking peers. My memories of graduate study here include classes with brilliant faculty, debates with student colleagues late into the night, and racquetball at the Plex. May it rest in peace. Staffing a Fulbright seminar for international Muslim scholars shortly after 9/11 at the Boise Center was a highlight. Grad school was also marked by imposter syndrome, but not as you all have faced PCR tests or Zoom teaching. You all have navigated graduate study during an era in which technology is rapidly altering attention spans and democracy itself. During times in which we face public mistrust of science and certain histories, you've gone on the job market as higher education anticipates this impending demographic cliff. You have pursued the truth in a post-truth culture. And so the need for your contributions beyond the heights is more urgent than ever. I trust that the Morrissey College's commitments to research excellence and the common good alike have well equipped you for these shared challenges that we face. Whereas some models of university education highlight pre-professional expertise alone or an individualistic market ethos, one wherein we pull up our bootstraps and make our own fate. Your degree comes from a university whose Jesuit tradition is animated by the idea of solidarity, in which we share one another's fate. Pursuing graduate studies during a global pandemic has likewise underscored, no doubt, our shared yet differential vulnerability. Yet another mass shooting in Buffalo reminds us that other viruses pose ongoing threats as well, like white supremacy. BC is a place that fosters putting scholarship and teaching at the service of confronting such injustice in our world. There is a critical need for your formation in this vein, this inheritance of compassionate reason, in Ignacio Ellacriria's words. Today's dissertations treating development economics, coloniality, and court redistricting signal such contributions, to name just a few. This year's Excellence in Teaching Day keynote highlighted the different modes of critique and repair across disciplines. And this struck me as an apt model for capturing both the collective work across our College of Arts and Sciences and our graduates' charge as you bridge your disciplinary expertise with our world's questions and needs. There, Sarah Hendren differentiated the mode of critique, where we unmask, expose, and reflect in our various academic fields, from repair, where we propose, exchange, ask, what if? Yet, whether we analyze in libraries or experiment in laboratories, it seems those prone to more theoretical why inquiries need those pursuing practical how questions, and vice versa. Even as our fields require and reward specialization, study in a liberal arts setting like this one invites us into dialogical modes. Early in my teaching career, the nature of the material in my ethics courses risked leaving my students far more aware of the complexities of social injustices, yet completely overwhelmed. An exclusive focus on critique can tempt us to despair if it's not coupled with attention to ways forward and even empowerment to effect change. I have benefited from cross-disciplinary colleagues and community partners' modes of repair to counterbalance my own tendencies to identify and analyze structures of violence alone. As Willie Jennings puts it in his recent book, critique must aim at communion. Fellow alumnus C. Dale Young was recently profiled in the Boston College magazine. Young is a published poet who writes early in the mornings before his shifts as a radiation oncologist begin. I know. We don't all have to pursue a back-to-back MFA and MD like Young, but bringing together art and science, critique and repair, the why and the how. This is the gift and charge of an education like yours. Collaboration across disciplines is essential for facing the shared challenges we confront, from rising authoritarianism to global vaccine divides. One of today's dissertations puts neuroscience and philosophy in conversation, and another draws on religious ethics in light of climate change. Dialogue between the humanities and the social sciences can yield deeper understandings of the ways structures, cultures, and imagination shape our pursuit of shared goods. It can illuminate whose equal rights remain unequally violated. These modes of compassionate reason can advance solidarity as they counter the illusions of isolated living. The poles of critique and prepare also signal the importance of integrating theory with praxis. The 3 Jesuit universities I've worked at have each provided a welcome home for someone who insists that community-based research and pedagogy need not compromise the integrity of academic rigor. I was first turned on to the value of such courses as a TA for the Pulse program here, and that model became a significant one for my work thereafter. Through these courses, my students' experiences with former gang members in East LA or citizenship classes in San Jose challenged their unexamined assumptions. Dean Brackley terms opportunities to act ourselves into new ways of thinking cognitive hygiene, emphasizing the importance at the engagement at the level of practice in order to adequately challenge our intellectual paradigms and commitments. Even meeting virtually with refugees in Erbil via the Global Engagement Portal, that giant gold shipping container outside O'Neill, even that really deepened our class's understandings of refugee policies and of Syrians. When Just Mercy author Brian Stevenson came to campus a few years back, he summoned similar proximity to those marginalized in order to close justice deficits. He also emphasized the need to counter fear-based narratives and to do things that are uncomfortable and inconvenient. These invitations resonate with my experience working on immigration ethics in this country over the last decade, where fear and cultures of comfort alike prevent justice and hospitality. In my Stokes office, you'll find the mud-caked sole of a shoe left behind in the Arizona desert that I found on my last border visit. It keeps the stakes and accountability of my research agenda front and center. Stevenson's charge, though, is an important reminder to academics more broadly, And so over the course of your careers, you may respond through your disciplines or with adjacent work, like Dr. Young. My own side gig with an international ethics network that spans 80 countries has been central to my vocation. We foster cross-cultural engagement in ways that empower traditionally marginalized voices from the global south and try to decenter the northern paradigm. But also making my research accessible to non-academic audiences has been another way to contribute to the public good. Dispatches from our history colleague, Heather Cox Richardson, offer an exemplary model in this regard. Certainly, some of the most rewarding aspects of my academic career didn't count for tenure, but were essential to sustaining meaningful work over the long haul. So don't lose sight with why you fell in love with your discipline in the first place as you navigate a tough job market or jump through hoop after hoop. Reclaim time to feed your spirit and to accompany others along the way. So, class of 2022, may you draw near to the various peripheries in the years ahead amid the insulating temptations of the academy. Let mud-caked realities shape your imagination and impact your thinking. And may you connect critique with repair across disciplines and communities, even when you are incentivized to stay in your own lane. For now, it is your turn to ignite hearts and heal the world. We're in good hands. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen, for your inspiring talk. It's now time to turn to the awarding of degrees. Before Dean Howe assumes the podium to call the names of this year's graduates, I wish to begin by recognizing the two individuals who represented the master's degree recipients and the doctoral degree recipients at the preceding commencement ceremony. I shall recognize them now, and then we shall call them again later to collect their diplomas. First, I would like to ask the PhD representative, Dr. Lindsey Pedrowski, to please stand. Dr. Pedrowski is the recipient of a Doctor of Philosophy degree from the Department of History. Her dissertation is entitled "To Bring Them Under Control, Smallpox Vaccination in England, India, and Jamaica, 1850 to 1910. She received a BA degree magna cum laude from Middle Tennessee State University. While a graduate student at Boston College, she has served as a teaching assistant, lecturing and conducting discussion classes, and she has begun publishing articles in scholarly journals. Especially noteworthy is that while still a graduate student, she became a research associate on a joint Notre Dame Holy Cross project studying the effectiveness of college in prison programs in reducing recidivism and improving reentry outcomes for incarcerated individuals. The project is part of a larger grant under the Institute for Higher Education Policy, working to create standards that could be used across CIP campuses to protect incarcerated students from illegitimate colleges and to ensure equitable education. She will be joining Notre Dame on a full-time basis to continue her work on the project. She and her family live near the university in Edwardsburg, Michigan, where she enjoys gardening, writing, and meditating. Lindsey, thank you for your role in our ceremonies today, in which you so ably represented the wealth of intellectual talent of the doctoral class of 2022. We wish you every success in all your future endeavors. I would now like to ask the master's representative, Mr. Joshua Rhines, to please stand. Where? I should have some sort of clever remark to make about this. Mr. Rhines is the recipient of a Master of Science in Geophysics. He grew up in Hollis, New Hampshire, and received a bachelor's degree in physics and mathematics cum laude from Bates College. His master's thesis was entitled Quantifying Feedbacks Between Ice Flow, Grain Size, and Basal Meltwater on Annual and Decadal Timescales using a 2D ice sheet mode. He has begun a PhD at Princeton University in the atmospheric and oceanic studies, where he is studying the impacts of climate change on the Greenland ice sheet and Antarctic ice shelves. In his free time, he hikes, climbs, and makes pottery. Josh, thank you for your role in our ceremonies today, in which you so ably represented the wealth of intellectual talent of the master's class of 2022. We wish you every success in your future endeavors. Before the awarding of diplomas, I would like for all the faculty members who have supervised master's and doctoral students to please stand. Thank you for all that you've done for your students and the advancement of knowledge in the Academy. Please give them another round of applause. At this time, let me remind family members and friends that this is a day for celebration, so feel free to come down closer for photographs. We would appreciate it if you would use the aisle on my far right, which is your far left. In addition, I would like to remind students to collect their official diplomas immediately after the ceremony. Thank you. Now, please join me in welcoming Ms. Jennifer Centra, who will assist with the diplomas, and Dean Robert Howe, who will call the names of the degree recipients. First, the doctoral students and their advisors for the hooding ceremony, and then the master's students.
Good afternoon. We'll start with the doctoral degree recipients. I'll call the recipient, the degree recipient, followed by the advisor or faculty member who will conduct the hooding ceremony. Emily Brooke Barco, doctorate in sociology, accompanied by Professor Sarah Moorman. Andrew Belfield, doctorate in historical theology, accompanied by Professor Boyd Taylor Kuhlman. Div Bagya, doctorate in economics, accompanied by Professor Theodore Papageorgiou. Ryan Bodery, doctorate in cognitive neuroscience, accompanied by Professor Elizabeth Kensinger. Min Kao, doctorate in chemistry, accompanied by Professor Shi Yuan Lu. Yejin Chang, doctorate in chemistry, accompanied by Professor James Morkin. Andrew Copeland, doctorate in economics, accompanied by Professor Mark Adelsberg. Kevin Matthew Dowd, doctorate in theology and education, accompanied by Professor Thomas Groom. Victoria Gabriele, doctorate in physics, accompanied by Professor Christoph Kempa. Luca Gemmi, doctorate in economics, accompanied by Professor Rosen Valchev. Eduardo Gonzalez, doctorate in systematic theology, accompanied by Professor Roberto Goizeta. Maheen Haider, doctorate in sociology, accompanied by Professor Yves Spangler. Sam Hayes, doctorate in American politics, accompanied by Professor Shep Melnick. Benjamin Homan, Doctorate in Systematic Theology, accompanied by Professor Brian Robinette. Spencer Kyle Johnson, Doctorate in Systematic Theology, accompanied by Professor Amy Victoria Adkins Jones. Manshu Khanna, Doctorate in Economics, accompanied by Professor Kit Baum. Alexei Hazanov, Doctorate in Economics, accompanied by Professor Rosen Valchev. Yao Lu, Doctorate in Chemistry, accompanied by Professor Shi Yuan Lu. Christopher McLaughlin, Doctorate in Historical Theology, accompanied by Professor Brian Dunkel, S.J. Javier Montesel, Doctorate in Theological Ethics, accompanied by Professor Lisa Cahill and Dr. Cuca Robledo Montesel. Alexander Montez, Doctorate in Philosophy, accompanied by Professor Patrick Byrne. Yu-Chan Mu, Doctorate in Chemistry, accompanied by Professor James Morkin. Lindsey Pedrowski, Doctorate in History, accompanied by Professor Penelope Ismay. Xavier Riat Ferrer, Doctorate in Chemistry, accompanied by Professor Peter Zhang. Chandler Rogers, Doctorate in Philosophy, accompanied by Professor Richard Atkins. Praveen Saini, Doctorate in Economics, accompanied by Professor Rosen Valchev. Rosalie Samid, Doctorate in Cognitive Neuroscience, accompanied by Professor Maureen Ritchie. Hammond David Sessions, Doctorate in History, accompanied by Professor Penelope Ismay. Reverend Quang Tran, Doctorate in Philosophy, accompanied by Professor Richard Atkins. Michael Van Zant Collins, Doctorate in Theology, accompanied by Professor James Morris. Andrew Vink, Doctorate in Systematic Theology, accompanied by Professor Natana DeLong Bass. Ellen Wan, Doctorate in Chemistry, accompanied by Professor Udayan Mohanty. Xiaoshu Wan, Doctorate in Chemistry, accompanied by Professor Peter Zhang. Yiping Wan, Doctorate in Physics, accompanied by Professor Kenneth Birch. Nell Wasserstrom, Doctorate in English, accompanied by Professor Kevin Owie. Whoop. Christina Wright, Doctorate in Psychology, accompanied by Professor Michael McDonald. Jinji, Doctorate in Chemistry, accompanied by Professor Peter Zhang. Chen Long Zhang, Doctorate in Chemistry, accompanied by Professor James Morkin. Connie Zhang, Doctorate in Chemistry, accompanied by Professor Peter Zhang. And that concludes the awarding of the doctoral degrees. We'll now move to the awarding of the master's degree recipients. Robin Radner, Master's in History. James Parsons, Master's in History. Maxine Whistler, Master's degree in History. Joanna Rovin, Master's degree in English. English always loudest. Gretchen Butt. Gretchen Butt, Master's degree in Political Science. Adelina Nini, Master's degree in Philosophy. Kelsey Margaret Hammond, Master's degree in English. Matthew Kern, Master's degree in History. Austin Cran, Master's degree in History. Megan McCoy, Master's degree in History. Emily Coelho, Master's degree in History. Ariel Donnelly, Master's degree in History. Taylor Wright, Master's degree in Middle Eastern Studies. Marcel Pons Ventura, Master's degree in Hispanic Literature and Culture. Hannah Vinande, Master's degree in French Literature and Culture. Michael Thomas, Master's degree in French Literature and Culture. Andrew Clark, Master's degree in French Literature and Culture. Alicia Loudon, Master's degree in Hispanic Literature and Culture. Lyda Supana, Master's degree in Latin and Greek. Julia Maria Gliozzi Wilkins, Master's degree in Italian Literature and Culture. Ethan Hill, Master's degree in Hispanic Literature and Culture. Alexander Schroeder, Master's degree in Political Science. Megan Lavin, Master's degree in English. Jacob Wershba, Master's degree in English. Ryan Fay, Master's degree in English. Remsen DeJoseph, Master's degree in English. Catherine Guider, Master's degree in English. Julia Davidson, Master's degree in English. Mallory Hillary, Master's degree in English. Maria Markoulis, Master's degree in English. Adelaide Neville, Master's degree in English. Molly Barker, Master's degree in English. Virginia Greeley, Master's degree in English. Lucy Hanson, Master's degree in Philosophy. Fen Inman, Master's degree in Philosophy. Kelby Bibler, Master's degree in Philosophy. Caroline Arnold, Master's degree in Philosophy. Peter Harsh, Master's degree in Philosophy. Orrin Page, Master's degree in Philosophy. Joshua Rhines, Master's degree in Geophysics. And that concludes the awarding of the master's degree recipients.
Thank you, Rob and Jen. Let us have one more round of applause for the new graduates and their advisors. I now have the honor of presenting the winners of this year's Donald and Elen White Prizes. Each year, the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences awards 2 White Prizes, one for the best dissertation in the social sciences, and the other for the best dissertation in the humanities. I wish to say a few words about each of this year's winners. The competition for the White Prize for the social sciences resulted in a tie between Dr. Sam D. Hayes of the Department of Political Science and Dr. Rosalie Samid of the Department of Psychology and Neuroscience. Will Dr. Sam Hayes please come forward and stand? That's good. Sam came to BC from the University of Massachusetts Amherst with BAs in journalism and in political science, cum laude, with highest honors from the Commonwealth Honors College. His dissertation, Courtroom Cartography, How Federal Court Redistricting Shaped Representation from Baker to Rucho, focuses on the role of the judiciary in electoral redistricting. Every decade, states redraw their congressional and state legislative districts. Sam's dissertation examines what happens when the least political branch, the federal judiciary, gets involved in this political activity and redraws district lines. He argues that the federal courts favor different criteria for redistricting than other institutions, creating a distinct understanding of representation for people living under their maps and raising fundamental questions about American democracy. He has won many awards and fellowships as a graduate student. Especially noteworthy was being a recipient of the University Teaching Excellence Award and a Klaus Center for the Study of Constitutional Democracy Fellowship. Moreover, he has begun publishing in such journals as the American Political Science Review and the State Politics and Policy Quarterly. He's been teaching for the past 2 years at Wheaton College in Norton, Massachusetts, where coincidentally he grew up. Beginning this fall, he and family will move to Waterville, Maine, where he will teach at Colby College and indulge his hobbies of cycling and hiking. Sam, our congratulations and best wishes for the future. Will Dr. Rosalie Samid please come forward? Great, thank you. A native of Latrobe, Pennsylvania, Rosie came to BC after being graduated with a BA in Psychology and Neuroscience from Haverford College. Her dissertation, Role of Memory Processes in the Emotion Regulation of Naturalistic Events, focused on the question, how can we change the way we remember emotionally negative events to make them feel less unpleasant? Her research indicates that deliberately reframing negative memories to render them more positive has a lasting effect such that those memories feel less unpleasant when recalled again the next day. Using neuroimaging methods, she has additionally found a relationship between this lasting reduction in memory unpleasantness and brain activity occurring prior to the reframing. Her research suggests remembering negative content may actually facilitate reframing success. Rosie has thus far published 5 scholarly journal articles, given over a dozen presentations of her research. She's all the while taught, pursuing her lab work, as well as participated in a mentoring program for undergraduates. In her leisure time, she enjoys skiing, endurance running, learning to windsurf, and playing the piano. She will soon be starting a position as a research systems analyst and data visualization specialist at the marketing firm Alpha Diver. Rosie, our congratulations and best wishes for the future. You're welcome. Thank you. The Donald and Elen White Prize for the Humanities this year goes to Dr. Nell Wasserstrom. Will Dr. Nell Wasserstrom please come forward? A native of Oak Park, Illinois, Nell came to Boston College with a BA in Theater Studies with departmental honors from the University of Illinois, Champaign-Urbana. Nell's dissertation, Belated Modernism, the Late Style of Freud, Benjamin, and Woolf, is concerned with late modernism, a period covering the interwar years. Nell's work looks at the years 1939 to 1941, a time when the war was underway, but its magnitude unknown. She explores the last works of Sigmund Freud, Walter Benjamin, and Virginia Woolf, all of whom died during this fraught, compressed period. And all 3 were also in the midst of writing or publishing their final works. The dissertation argues that this conjunction of late style and late modernism what it reveals in light of individual and world historic ends, an intensification of the obsession with lateness that has haunted literary modernism since its origins. Nell has taught several courses, including multiple sections of the important first-year writing seminar. Her teaching earned her a University Teaching Excellence Award. Moreover, she won many fellowships. For example, the École Normale Supérieure Fellowship in Paris and the Von Hendy Prize for Graduate Writing. This coming year, she will be visiting scholar at Boston College, working on transitioning her dissertation to a book manuscript, and for a portion of this time, she will also be working remotely from Lausanne, Switzerland, where her husband is an assistant professor at the university. She says that her pastimes are family, especially her nephews and niece, and learning languages. Now, our congratulations and best wishes for the future. I now have the honor of presenting the Dean's Award for Best Dissertation in Mathematics and Science, which goes to Jinji of the Department of Chemistry. Dr. Jinji, will you please come forward? Jinji came here with a BS in pharmacy from Nanjing University of Technology, a BS in chemistry summa cum laude from the University of Massachusetts, Dartmouth, and an MS in analytical chemistry from the University of Massachusetts, Dartmouth. Her dissertation, The Synthetic Application of 1,4-hydrogen atom abstraction via cobalt-2-based metalloradical catalysis. The clapping was for me. Her research is focused on the development of cobalt-2-based catalytic systems for stereoselective synthesis of carbocycles and heterocycles through intermolecular radical CH acylation. Her research efforts at Boston College have led to breakthrough discoveries of 3 new catalytic radical processes involving the unusual 1,4-H atom abstraction as the key step. While a student, Jinji has co-authored a number of scholarly articles in such journals as the Journal of the American Chemical Society, Chem, and Chem Catalysis. In addition, she's been an active teacher and mentor in and out in chemistry labs. She is presently a senior associate scientist in medicinal chemistry at Amgen Incorporation, in which she, and when she is not busy with her career doing medical chemistry, she says that she enjoys hiking, skiing, traveling, baking, and drawing. Jinji, our congratulations and best wishes for the future. I now have the honor of presenting a faculty award. The Graduate School Teaching and Mentoring Award this year goes to Professor Aranthy Weerapanna of the Department of Chemistry. Aranthy came to BC in 2010 with a PhD in chemistry from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and a BS in chemistry cum laude with honors from Yale University. Before speaking to the excellence of her teaching and mentoring of chemistry graduate students, I want first to say a few words about her scholarship. She has published over 113 scholarly journal articles, given 114 scholarly presentations. She currently has 7 active NIH research grants and has completed 4 more, as well as grants from other organizations such as the Damon Runyon Foundation and Pfizer. In addition, she has received a Smith Family Award for Excellence in Biomedical Research, a Damon Runyon Rockcliffe Innovation Award, and Ono Pharma Breakthrough Science Initiative Award, and an MIRA Award from the National Institutes of Health. She has also been active as an editor of Cell Chemical Biology and on the editorial board of several other journals. Her contributions to her profession just go on and on. Even more noteworthy is that in the context of this extraordinary research record is Aranthy's remarkable service to Boston College, her department, and its students. She presently is the Graduate Program Director, Faculty Advisor for the Women in Science Program, and co-chair of the newly formed Departmental Diversity Committee. The department, along with the rest of the academy, is striving to address itself to the promotion of diversity within its ranks. As her nominators, both faculty and students attest, she is an invaluable role model. As a top-flight woman biochemist born and reared until age 12 in Sri Lanka, and then brought up in Kenya until she came to Yale as a freshman, she brings a wealth of personal experience and academic prestige to her role here. She has done an extraordinary job of leveraging her background and experience in the service of her students. Students talk about how well structured her courses are, as well as how much guidance she provides. One of her graduate student nominators notes, Aranthy designs the course in a way that students can simultaneously learn lecture materials and develop scientific communication and critical thinking skills. Her classes involve students presenting their research to one another With coaching in advance from Aranthe, the student further comments, though this may be the first time that students have given a scientific presentation, Aranthe sets each student up for success. But just as impressive as this pedagogical involvement with students is her mentoring, her ongoing concern for them both personally and professionally while here on campus and throughout their careers. Students discuss her open door policy throughout her time in the labs, in which they were able to gain guidance that carried them through their PhD program and into their subsequent careers. One student remarks that Aranthe is cognizant of the need to help students develop skills outside of bench work. In this student's case, Aranthe learned of her interest in teaching undergraduates and facilitated teaching and mentoring opportunities for her. After BC, this same student turned to Aranthe for help with a problematic postdoctoral position, and ultimately turned to her yet again for support for a decision to move from the academy to industry. The student concludes by saying, "I cannot express enough how grateful I am to have had Aranthe as my former research advisor and mentor. As a woman in science, she served as inspiration for me as I was navigating my career early in graduate school, and continued as I was fortunate enough to work with her while pursuing my PhD. Her commitment to scientific rigor as well as the development of her students is admirable. I am very fortunate to have had Aranthe as a champion for my career development and support for the last 12 years. When not working in the lab, writing, sitting on committees, editing, teaching, and mentoring, Aranthe says she enjoys her time with her husband, Paul, her 2 children, Sienna and Ryan, and I'm going to include him, their new Dalmatian puppy, Brandy. Aranthe, your commitment to your profession and your devotion to your students is truly admirable. On behalf of the Morrissey College Graduate School of Arts and Sciences, it is a privilege to present you with this year's Teaching and Mentoring Award. Congratulations. I also wish to thank Dean Robert Howe, Associate Dean for Admission and Administration, and Ms. Jennifer Centra, Assistant Director of Graduate Admissions and Financial Aid of the Graduate School, for their contributions to the ceremony today. Ms. Kara Burke, would you please stand? She's standing at the back. I would like to thank Kara, our graduate programs assistant, for her excellent organization and implementation of this entire ceremony. What would we have done without you? Thank you. And a final thank you to Ms. Christine McIntosh, Admissions and Financial Aid Assistant, and Brian Fleming, Associate Director of Global Engagement, for their assistance. In addition, I would like to thank today's faculty marshals, Professors Matteo Acetoso, Martin Bridgman, John Ebel, Charles Hoffman, Elizabeth Kensinger, Maya McAlevey, I did this wrong, Vanessa Parks-Rumble, and Eve Spangler. Finally, I wish to thank the members of the Huntington Brass Quintet who played so beautifully today. I would now like to ask that the audience remain seated until the graduates, both on and off stage, have left the auditorium. Then please join us for the reception. May I have one last round of applause for the graduates of 2022.
Can I get those from you?
Um,
The names? This is how we know who goes to which floor.
Oh, okay. Let me just make sure with Kara. Okay.